Hey everyone, this is Muskoka Properties. I'm Shannon Donnelly, sales rep with Keller Williams Real Estate, coming to you from beautiful Bracebridge in the heart of Muskoka. So today, first day back to school for the kiddies. Now, were you one of those parents who knew exactly where all the pudding pops and granola bars were in your pantry? Or did you open those doors and say, oh my goodness, I've got to make a lunch with this? Well, don't worry. If your pantry needs a little bit of an overhaul, I'm here to help. And in just 5 easy steps, we're going to get you back up and running so you know exactly where the crackers are and how many of them you have. Stay tuned, buckle up, let's go. Organizing your pantry and cupboards isn't just about making lunches, be they for the kids or for you at work, easier to put together. It also helps you streamline your shopping, it makes it easier to do some meal prep for the week, and helps you find some of those items that you may not use every day, but know they're in there somewhere. Things like, cardamom. What even is cardamom? Well, if it's in your pantry and it's where it should be, you'll know you have it so that when you need it, you'll know where it is. It can be really intimidating and very challenging to try and organize and sort through something when it is just a big mess right in front of you. It's almost overwhelming at times. Your cupboards and your pantry space are no different. So the easiest approach here is take everything out and put everything on a flat surface such as a table. Start examining expiry dates. You do not want to feed your family something that's expired or something that doesn't even have an expiry date if you know what's been in there for a while. You know what I mean? I know you've got some because I know I've got some. So get rid of that stuff. Look for duplicates. Is there really a need for 6 boxes of baking soda? If not, get rid of it, donate it, maybe give it to a food bank, a church, a friend, a neighbor. You don't need it in your pantry, it's taking up space, lose it. Start looking for things that are rarely used, things you really, I used to be on a kick and I had these rice papers and now I've got 6 boxes of rice paper. I really, I may use them, but if you know they're just going to sit there until the cows come home, get rid of that too. So now that you've purged everything, we're ready for step two. Now that you've hopefully pared down all of the items that were in your cupboard and pantry, start collecting things on the table in groupings. Create categories such as baking supplies. That would be things like sugar, salt, flour. Another category could be your canned goods. A third one could be the snack foods that the kids are reaching for, such as raisins and granola bars. Don't put anything back in the cupboard yet. We want to create these groups on the table to give you an idea of just how much shelf space you're going to need for each category so that you can adjust the shelves and the heights and allocate the space accordingly. As you do put things back, once they're in groups, it's ideal to put the lesser used items up high and the heavier items down below, such as crock pots, maybe a George Foreman grill. The snack food, if it's something you want your kids to access easily, can go at the height where they can see and reach it. As a realtor, I've seen some really fabulous kitchen spaces. It almost looks like Martha Stewart was there and blessed the kitchen with her touch. And the one common denominator in many of these places is the use of containers that are clear, which help not only with the aesthetics, but keep the content safe because they're airtight and you can see just exactly how much you have of each. Now, there are some exceptions to this rule. Certain things should not be in clear containers, namely coffee. That's why when you buy coffee at the store, usually it's in a sealed container that does not allow the light in. Other things could be spices. Red wine, for example, should not be exposed to light. So keep that in mind when buying your containers and allocating them to the different items in your pantry. We talked earlier about the placement of items when you put them back into your cupboard space. Lesser used items up high, heavier items such as blenders and crockpots down low, and the most frequently accessed things right in the middle so that they're easy to see and grab. Not to be overlooked, however, is the whole concept of maximizing your vertical space. And this can best be done with adjustable shelves to accommodate items of different sizes and risers. Now, risers are easy to buy, they're really affordable. You can get them at local dollar stores, and they allow you, as an example, to put on your shelf not one, but 2 rows, possibly 3 rows of canned goods and other smaller items that otherwise are a little clunky to stack. Labeling everything once you've put it back into your cupboard or pantry space just makes sense. Things in those clear containers like salt, sugar, and flour can look the same, and you don't want to mix those up. You might end up with a very unsavory recipe. So be sure to invest in a P-Touch machine. That's an electronic labeling machine, possibly a Cricut, and that's a slightly more a lot more expensive machine that you can buy at Michael's. Those allow you to actually create custom labels for all of the things in your pantry. But you're not just going to label the containers themselves, you're going to label the shelves so that when the kids take the cereal out, they know exactly where it goes back. Or when somebody's looking for granola bars, the label's there, but the container is empty, we know it's time to buy more. Yes, folks, there is a bonus tip. So, if you're anything like me, you spend the week jotting down little notes of things that you mean to pick up when you go to the grocery store when you have a chance. And those notes are invariably on different sheets of paper in different rooms of the house, and there's no consolidation. Try as I may, I always leave the notes behind. I get to the store and I'm like, oh, do we have grapes? Do we have orange juice? How many eggs do we have left? This is where your cell phone comes in handy. No, you're not going to text yourself a list. You're going to do something better. You're going to open up the pantry doors, open them wide. Take pictures of what you have. That way, when you get to the grocery store, it's like, oh, that's right. I'm down to only a quarter of a container of flour. And I promised the kids I'd bake bread this weekend. Now you know you've got to buy more. Do the same with the fridge. Open up those fridge drawers, open up the freezer. Take pictures of what you have. That way, when you get to the grocery store, a quick look at your phone will reveal, yep, it's time for more orange juice. That's it from Shannon Donnelly with Muskoka Properties, a realtor with Keller Williams Real Estate, coming to you from beautiful Bracebridge in the heart of Muskoka. Make it a great day.